Alright, hello everybody and welcome to an informational video on how to remove, clean, and reinstall an air filter on a CRF 250R. So some of the things you're going to need is a 3/8 ratchet, am I getting that right? 10mm socket, a pair of rubber gloves, and a bucket of soapy water. So the first thing you want to do is put some rubber gloves on, because this is probably one of the messiest jobs when it comes to working on a dirt bike, in my opinion. I'm not a very big fan of changing the oil either, but when it comes to nasty air filter lubrication, then I don't like getting on my hands, so I'm just going to keep rubber gloves on. So the only two things you're going to have to take off is this screw right here and the other screw right on the corresponding side. So they should pop right off. Usually keep them pretty loose because you're supposed to do this after every other ride, because these things do get rather dirty when you're riding, when it's really dusty or it's really muddy. So some of the areas that air goes into the airbox is right here and right on the other corresponding side. So there and right the other side. That off. So once you get these two bolts off, put them somewhere where you know you won't lose them, because I tend to do that all the time. And then just take the back seat, pull it off, comes off just like that. Now the air filter will be sitting right underneath the seat right here, and it's held in place by a small wing nut. So all you have to do is take your left hand, right hand, whichever you're bound it in, and loosen the wing nut up. And it's a pretty long bolt, so you'll be here for a little while. So bear with me here, be patient. Alright. So here it is. This is the long bolt. Don't lose that either. And there's a small little cage that this thing sits in. You're going to want to remove it from the cage. If you can actually kind of see, I don't know if you can see in the video, all the black stuff on this. Yeah, that's all dirt. And I just cleaned this out just before I rode the last time. So all you gotta do is pull this cage out, take this thing, you're gonna dunk it in a bucket of water, take it, wring it out. Now these filters typically are good for maybe 2 or 3 rides. You don't want to use them too much because they tend to wear out, and the more they wear out, they start to get holes in them, and if dirt gets past them, you're gonna get dirt in your motor and possibly destroy the motor. So it's very crucial that you take your time and clean this thoroughly as much as you can. So you don't have to get too crazy with it. Just make sure you don't get too aggressive with it, because if you do poke your finger through it, you are going to have to buy a new one. Alright, that should be good. Now, I did actually forget to tell you, a towel might be good as well. You are going to want to dry this off. Don't worry about the soap, that's alright. As long as it's all out of there. You can rinse it off in a sink if you'd like, but I typically do not. Alright. Inspect the inside, make sure there's no small pieces of the towel in there or any other debris that may have fallen off when you were washing it off and ended up on the inside. That would be no good. I can see the shape of this cage and the inside of this filter is similar, so just try to pop it in the same side, the shape shown. That's a good description, sorry. You want this thing to be as form-fitted as possible. Now and then there's a small face on the inside end of the seat where this gray lip sits. As long as this gray lip sits right in that spot. Oh, you know what? There was one thing I forgot to show you. You see that little, maybe, focus? Little tab right there? And then this small little black tab. That snaps right on top of that. We'll snap those in place. Alright. Now take your air filter and wiggle it down right back to where you got it from, and make sure that gray lip is sealed perfect on top of that. You do not want any dirt getting past that, because you will have problems with your motor if you do. And then take that same wing nut, put it right through the center of the air filter. Sometimes this can be hard to find the female threads, but oh, that was actually pretty easy this time. Of course, when I'm not on video and I show this to you guys, it's going to be difficult. Alright, now that's nice and tight. I'm actually going to take these gloves off since I'm done handling the air filter. Take the seat, there's a small notch right there, and notch goes right in that little groove here. Snaps right in place. And then those two tabs the bolts go through, just got to line them up with the corresponding threads. Grab your two bolts you took out earlier, didn't lose them this time. And reinstall them. And that is about as easy as it gets. Now you saw how easy that was? When you buy a dirt bike, make sure you do that every other time. Don't be lazy, because if you do, you're going to have problems with your motor. Thanks for watching, guys.